here's how I bought a fourplex at a 3% interest rate, none of my credit, no qualifications, no bank checks, no income verification, no new loans, subject to. So this fourplex is in College Station. It was basically the seller was living in one unit and he was trying to rent out the other ones. He had bought it with a VA loan at a 3.25% interest rate, and he was working on a business. He wanted to move out of the country. He did the whole forbearance thing during COVID and didn't pay the mortgage, so he's $30,000 behind. The principal balance is about $275,000 left on the loan. So the ARV of this, if it's in perfect condition, is probably like $330 at the time. So he has a payment of it's about $19.50 a month. So that's principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. So he's $30,000 behind. He needs to sell it before it's facing foreclosure. It was not in foreclosure yet. We actually found this on a for sale by owner website. No idea he was behind on payments. He just wanted to sell it. We kept in touch with him after 4 months of follow-up. We finally got this under contract, subject to. So we basically agreed to catch up the $30,000, give him $5,000, so we're basically $30,000 to make the loan current, plus $5,000 to him, plus a little bit in closing costs, probably like $3,000, and for let's just say $40,000 total. I got in with my brother and another partner. We brought, so we had the seller, and we have a contract with us, the buyers. We sent this to the title company. So the title company caught up the $40,000 to the mortgage company. We gave $5,000 to him. And then we took over his $19.50 a month. So we set up a servicing company that facilitated these payments to his bank. So now we have the deed. We own the property in our LLC with me and my partner. He still has the note. So the mortgage is still in his name. We didn't have to get credit checked. We didn't have to go get approved for any sort of bank loan, right? The loan stayed in place. He needed to move out of this quick. We paid the $30,000 to catch it up. We gave him $5,000. Now, each of these two units we're already renting for, one was $750 a month, the other one was $800. This one was vacant. We fixed it up. We fixed up this one. We leased both of them for $850 and $900. So we're bringing in a total of, let's say $1,650 and $1,700, or sorry, $2,700, like over, I think, $3,200 or so a month. And our payments are $1,950. So we're cash flowing, you know, I mean, it's over $1,200, but there's some management costs in there for 10%. So $1,200 a month. This is great. We have it split a few ways, but the end goal with this, we're going to end up deeding each of these properties. These are all 2-bedroom, 1-bath on every single one of these, right? So the big payout on this is eventually over time, when this house is now worth a lot more value, we're 15 minutes from A&M, it's a working class area. A 2-bedroom, 1-bath condo, right now, there's comparable properties selling for about $160K each. So we put a little bit more money to fix each of these up, keep them leased out. But let's say in 2 years, we sell each of these for, let's just say $180,000. 180 times 4, what is that? 720? Let's just say we deed each of these, sell each of them for 120, and our mortgage balance in a couple of years, let's just say it's $250. That's a $500,000 equity that we created because we could just sell each unit for a higher price. We could just keep cash flowing it. We could sell each of these owner finance and then make it a note, so we don't have to sell it outright. we could just collect interest payments and sell it owner finance. But basically, the end goal is to deed each of these whenever we feel that the value is there, and then sell it off for a larger play, probably move this into something larger, avoid the taxes.
What would be the advantage, disadvantage of either play, keeping it and creating a note for each one, or deeding it out?
So if we sold it owner finance and became the lender instead of just cashing out, we would probably save on taxes. We would insert that, equity until getting paid later. So what we could do is if we sold each of these owner finance, if we redeeded them, we could create a note here for 160K, let's say 15,000 down. So we could get 15,000, 15,000, 15,000, 15,000. That's 30, 45, 60K. And then what is this? 145 times 4. That's like 300, like almost 500,000, right? A little bit less.
Yeah, 580.
Was it? 580. So we would just insert $580,000 in notes, right? But we only owe that 250. So we would get a down payment. The biggest thing here now is each of these monthly payments would be probably at like an 8% interest rate, 7%, and ours is still 3.25. So we'd be collecting, I gotta go and do the math, but basically a mortgage from 4 different places at a higher percent interest rate. And then when they sell, we would get the difference of that note. So you could literally owner finance 4 different units while our only underlying note is the 275 that we have at the 3.25% interest rate.
If you deed them out compared to creating a note, are you losing tax benefits?
So the big thing here for taxes, if we cash it all out and they get a loan, so if we sell it on the market, we don't owner finance it, they're going to get a loan and pay us all out, right? So we're going to get 500,000. This is all capital gains. So we're going to get taxed at like 35% of this, which is a large amount. So really, we're probably going to roll that into something bigger. Or instead of getting taxed on 500K, we could get taxed on like 60 and create a huge note and make more monthly income on just the interest difference. So it would defer our taxes till later to where we don't have to, lose half of it to Uncle Sam right now. We could just get paid more, get paid upfront, get paid more on the monthly, and increase the equity for later.
Technically, in both scenarios, can you not defer it?
Yeah, here you would be rolling this into a 1031. So you'd have to roll that within like 90 days into a larger property. Otherwise, you're going to get hit with like a 35% tax, depending on your tax bracket or whatever it is. But this would be a really cool play if you owner finance all 4 of them. That would kind of be a mess, but it would be really cool because you're getting paid on 4 different properties every single month and you're not the landlord anymore.
What would be the mess about it?
You just have 4 mortgages. It'd be like a wraparound mortgage around. It'd be four mortgages around year 1, I guess.
Year 1 mortgage?
Yeah, I'd have to look at that, but I'm sure it's been done before.